Hello, and welcome to the RIOT Podcast.
Good day, everybody.
Monday, March 18th, 2019.
Woo.
The only Monday, March 18th, 2019 that you'll ever have. So you want to make sure that you invest this day wisely.
Live it to the fullest.
Because you'll never get it back. And which, in some ways, may be an argument against not listening to this podcast.
Oh, is this the waste of time during the day? No.
Hey, today, here's what we're going to talk about. We get back on health. The RIOT starts talking about wellness and how that all adds up.
Takes a weird trip.
It does. It does. We talk about James Gunn and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Ways to skip work, a coffee subscription service that
From your possibly fast food place of choice.
Could be. My car wash murder movie idea.
There's a lot there, by the way, to unpack.
Do you feel like maybe I showed too much?
No, but I just think some people are going to get it and run with it, and some people are not.
I do think that's true.
We're not for everybody for everything.
I think some people will listen to it and be like, this guy's sick. And other people will be like, oh, yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Awesome. I see that.
I totally see that.
We'll leave that up to you to decide which side of the line you're on.
I think maybe my favorite part of the show this morning is the discussion around Call of Duty franchises.
I don't want to talk about it anymore, though.
So there's that, and there's more. So you guys enjoyed that. Oh, and a romance novel.
Oh, did you put that in there?
Yes. I think you'll appreciate it. So everybody's looking for a man they can control.
Woo! Because you have a bakery that's in need.
That's right.
And
City Council.
You need to get married for the deed.
So, hey, you guys enjoy the podcast. We'll see you later.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Cleveland celebrates failure with a parade. We celebrate failure with the worst of the riots.
I'd just like to say that, well, you know what? No. Let's start with you, Nikki. How's your cold doing?
It's much better. I was actually doing super good yesterday, and then the nighttime is still the worrisome part where I think I got to bed around 3 this morning. So I was disappointed in that showing, but we're back and we're ready. So
we're back. We're rehabilitated.
We're ready to rebuild the day.
Yeah, I woke up with a block where my nose used to be.
What do you mean?
I mean, like,
is it stuffed up?
Oh yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. So it doesn't. Since I had surgery, it doesn't stuff up the same way that it used to. It's got like this new thing that it does.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, and you guys will love this. I think I got about a gallon of snot out of my body. In the shower.
So you've lost some weight.
I have.
Is that it?
I have. And I was just like, man, what is this? Because here's the thing that you begin to understand, that you can like be sick, and then there's like other sick that you can find your way into. So I'm not saying that's what's happening.
Sure.
I just woke up this morning and I was like, you know what? This is not good.
Maybe allergies.
Yeah.
Just always say allergies.
You know what I did? I was like, you know what's going to fix this is some ibuprofen.
That'll do the trick.
And some Ipecac or whatever.
The one stuff?
You just throw it up.
Throw it up? I cannot recommend that, no.
Isn't that what that is?
Yeah, it is, but I don't think this is for that. That's for emergency situations only.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not what I did.
Which I don't think we've ever found ourselves in such an emergency situation where you need to take that.
It's never been so bad.
Never. And isn't that a positive that we found today?
You know what? That's a good call.
So
like that's our carry away.
The glass is half full of the stuff that makes you throw up.
Okay, let's see. Ipecac. I only hear people talk about it.
I only know from the Family Guy episode where they all throwing up the chowder.
Ipecac syrup is taken by mouth to cause vomiting after suspected poisoning. So if you think you've been poisoned, then this is what you can have right there.
We've never found ourselves in such a bad situation.
Yeah, dude. Let's take medicine, non-prescription, so we can just get it.
It's over the counter?
Dude,
really?
This just sounds like...
I would have thought they could make meth out of it or something. It just seems like it's a catalyst to make something worse.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Like when you start reading through it.
Don't read it.
Whoa.
We don't need to worry about it. Don't read it.
So, like, if we don't raise $10,000, Nikki has to drink it.
Oh, now that is so mean. That is so mean. You found something, though, that is so mean.
I know. You hate the riot. Why are they on the radio?
Stupid. Yeah.
Honestly, we can't trust them with anything else. It's the riot on RadioU.
Ian says he texted, which you can too.
And we asked for people to, so
8772 RadioU.
We asked to hear this.
He says, I ate an entire bottle of Fred Flintstone vitamins, and my parents gave me some of that, and that's the Ipecac, what? So to force me to throw it up. When I was like 4 or 5, I spent hours over a toilet bowl.
I was wondering how old he was going to say he was with this, but can vitamins really actually, like, it's not like you overdosed on pills, isn't it?
The thing is, I feel like this is a very relevant question for our audience because a couple of months ago, we discussed how people like to eat little vitamin gummies and they keep them by their bed at night just in case they need a little hit in the middle of the night.
You're saying that wrong. I didn't like to eat them, but for some of those...
It's not, I don't like them. I need them.
For some of those vitamin gummies, it was like, oh, that's one step from like a gummy bear, a healthy gummy bear. And I had it in my nightstand, and I was like, I was hungry one night, and they're right there, and I didn't have to go downstairs and get anything.
And the thing is that Nikki's not alone. So many of you are like, okay, well, according to this, Flintstones kids vitamins.
I mean, I didn't have Flintstone vitamins, but...
This says an overdose of vitamins A, D, E, or K can cause serious or life-threatening side effects. Certain minerals contained in a multivitamin may also cause serious overdose symptoms if taken too much.
But I wonder if that's just the typical lingo that they have to put on stuff.
Like what they have to say?
What can it actually do?
This is what happens if you eat too many vitamins.
That wouldn't be the same thing of you taking the stuff that makes you throw up.
Technically, yeah. Okay, let's see here. It sounds like there's all kinds of like really... like side effects that you can
like
get hit up
upset stomach
on.
or
that seems to be kind of it.
Can we all just agree that mostly those gummy vitamins are mostly sugar anyways?
And this is another article about reminding you to not, quote, absent-mindedly snack on healthy gummy bears.
See, it's a problem. It's a party problem.
What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Like, what is going on?
We're not doing anything.
You know what? You do it again. You're getting the Ipecac.
The throw up stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally see someone being like, all right, we're having a healthy new me.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're taking those, like say you're going to the movie theater and you don't want to buy gummy bears or a gummy snack.
Oh, gosh.
You're like, okay, I'll bring my gummy vitamins.
No, I don't understand.
It's gummy and you're getting your vitamins.
I really don't understand it. It's medicine. You don't just
It's not a medicine.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
It's a vitamin.
So, okay, here's another one. What is getting your stomach pumped? Have you ever heard that one before?
Yeah.
Stomach pumped.
They normally give you the Epithat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They give you that and then they pump it out.
Like with a tube?
I think they force you to throw up.
Yeah, because
they put the tube down.
Somebody
and then...
telling me like I had to get my stomach pumped, and I had this whole visual of like what that looked like, including a big hand crank, with a doctor and a nurse on each side.
Someone's
like,
on their stomach pushing up and down. I don't think it's anything.
All right, pumping.
What I've heard, it's horrific and not very glamorous.
The medical term for getting your stomach pumped is gastric lavage. You know, it's getting weird in here.
Why are we talking about all this? I mean, it's not just Ian's fault.
Could you tell me where did it start?
With Ian.
No, but what was the thing we talked about last that got Ian to text in?
We were talking about just how's it going over the weekend, and then you brought up the Ipecac stuff. I hate that word. I hate it.
Ipecac. Ipecac.
I can see it. E-P-I. Isn't that how you spell it? E-P-I-T-H?
Ipecac. I-P-E-C-A-C.
No, I'm wrong.
C-A-C.
Wow, really wrong. It started with an E.
What's Ipecac? Cacawana.
Stop looking at it. Is that a camp?
No, it sounds... all right, we're looking it up. It sounds like something stupid.
Stop. That's what we just did. Stop looking things up.
All right, you're right.
Just close it out.
We're done. Everybody, just take a break, and I'd say clear your mind, but don't clear anything. Okay? Just sit there.
Just be patient.
The Worst of the Riot box set is now available nowhere because we know you wouldn't want it anyway. It's The Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
So something that happened Friday when the show was over was there was an announcement about Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
That was interesting.
Very surprising, right?
Someone's back.
James Gunn is back to record.
Well, I mean... film, if you'd rather call it.
Whatever.
Record is more of a radio thing.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
So he was the director.
Director and writer of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
And
he wrote 3.
He's best known for some other negative writings in his past.
Well, he was part of... It was one of those things where, first off, he was part of... What's that? Troma? Is that the name of the studio? They make some pretty tasteless films. But he moved on to other things. And what was it, like 10 years ago, he had a string of tweets that... I don't even remember what it was. They were
not pretty, and don't look them up.
Yeah, like bad, whatever. And so those tweets surfaced. Disney fired him.
They had resurfaced so many times throughout his career. So I know we're in an era of a lot of people still have things that just come back out in the open. I think kind of the difference with his is they had already been out in the open.
Right.
And he had already publicly apologized and done stuff, but they would just keep resurfacing again.
Yeah. And so
But they were bad. But
Yes.
they would just resurface again.
They were. And so he had kind of said, like, hey, listen, like, those are wrong. I shouldn't have done that. That's not the kind of person I am anymore. I've changed, blah, blah, blah. And, there have been a lot of people that's happened to a lot of people in the last couple years. But I'll have to say, I feel like he has been the one that, like, everybody was just like, nah, brah,
They
no.
all stood with him.
They did. Where
Which shows
everybody else...
he must have changed.
Everybody else, like, this stuff comes up, people cut and run. They're like... saying he's the worst and all this stuff. And like with James Gunn, the entire cast of that movie was like, no, we stand with this guy.
Which is why
it's fine.
We don't have Guardians of the Galaxy 3 right now.
It's actually true.
It's 100% true. And so people were wondering if Disney would go back on it once the outrage was kind of not that, why would he be directing it? But the outrage was, well, why don't you still let him direct it?
Right.
And people were like, well, Disney's not going to turn around on that. But they gave it enough time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's to save face or whatever, but they decided he's going to be back on it.
Well, we've got a real interesting problem that's going to unfold over the next, 6 months to 10 years of every time somebody... When the internet was still kind of new and social media was new, people were doing crazy stuff online because you don't think you're in your dorm room. It's like you're 19. It's 2 a.m. on a Friday. You think something's really, really funny and you tweet it.
Well, as you see, especially with anybody who has like writing or comedy.
Yeah.
We all have seen that with all of them.
Yeah. Like they've written stuff where you're like, oh, you can't make that joke now. Of course, comedy is like contextual, especially culturally. I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying that over the next few years, it's going to continue to be rough because I don't know. Maybe there are people out there, but I don't know if anybody doesn't have at least one thing they've done online that they aren't ashamed of. I know I do. I can think of one right now. Give me a minute. I'll come up with 2 or 3.
But for him, Disney has taken the step back and has given it back over to him.
Yeah, and there's been no official word, like no press release.
Of
Disney
like when
didn't
it'll be
say
filmed
anything.
or worked.
Like the reinstatement.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they made there was no press conference. I don't think there was a press release. Somebody somewhere dumped it out, and then James Gunn wrote the following. I am tremendously grateful to every person out there who has supported me over the past few months. I am always learning and will continue to work at being the best human being I can be. I deeply appreciate Disney's decision, and I'm excited to continue making films that investigate the ties of love that bind us all. I have been and continue to be incredibly humbled by your love and support. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Love to you all, James Gunn.
So that means a Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Helmed by... Or what did I say? Recorded by? Taped by?
It works too. It does work.
The Riot.
Apparently some of the less athletic types go nuts for this stuff.
Radio U.
Over the weekend, I spent some special time playing the Division 2.
Did you have fun?
Yes. Here's the thing is I thought somebody asked me, they're like, hey, this was yesterday morning. They're like, so how much have you played it? And I was like, I don't know. Like half an hour or an hour.
Is it more than that?
And then I got home and I had played for 3.5 hours was the game clock. And I was like, oh, so more than that.
Time gets away from you.
And then by the end of last night, I was like, well, how much have I played this? 9 hours. I played for 5.5 hours yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
And lost complete track of time.
But that meant you had fun.
Oh, dude, I had so much fun.
So that's worth it.
I am loving that. And it's been one of those things where I'm like this. It's kind of it's basically an open world RPG shooter, where you're trying to rescue Washington, D.C. from the virus and the plague and the bad people and the whatever. And really, it's just all about, ooh, look, I got a new one of those. It's got a higher number on it than the last one of those. I got this bulletproof vest. That one was an 8. This one's a 10.
So you go around collecting items, or?
Yes. And so and I'm just like on that loot grind, and I can't stop. I'm just like, yeah, like, see that handgun we had? Well, now I got a better one. Look at the numbers. The numbers are higher. Well, that means I'm getting somewhere.
That's how you win the game.
Because if I see higher numbers, that means I'm doing good. Keep it going, whatever. Man, I'm just doing like all the side activities, all the whatever, exploring every nook and cranny, drinking coffee, just hanging out. It's great.
Before you know it, you're 9 hours in.
Before you know it, people are like, how much you played? Like 2 hours, I think. Just multiply by 5.
And then
you'll find
there.
out how much I've actually been playing.
So are you planning on playing any during the week, or are you going to keep it a weekend thing?
Well, I mean,
because at the hours you're clocking, I don't know if it's safe to start it as a weekday thing.
Nindy.
You
know Nindy?
I thought that more Ninny.
Nindy? It depends on my availability. Oh, Tim, he says it's a little looter shooter.
Oh, Tim, way to go.
That
little
is what
shooter
it is.
looter.
It is. So that's what it is. I'm just getting them higher numbers.
So that's a Division 2, I guess, review?
Update.
Update on it?
It was, I paid $52.99 for it. And you know what? I bought a lot of crap at a lot of prices. That one was worth it.
So you're happy with your game purchase?
I'd do it again. And, if this cold works out, I'm going to need a sick day, so...
Ever grab milk right out of the fridge to pour in your cereal, only to realize that your stupid roommate left an empty carton in the fridge? That emptiness is nothing compared to how you're about to feel. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I don't always read Cracked, but that's quite a website, cracked.com. I'll tell you that the language can get a little colorful, but man, they have some of the best articles. Like this one.
Are they actual articles, or is it like The Onion?
No. They are typically based in fact. Nikki, I want to send this to you. I'm trying to find you on my list here. But like, for example, they'll gather old news stories into lists. So here's 5 impressive scams people use to get out of work.
Yes.
And like,
oh, so it looks like BuzzFeed.
It's so much better.
Yeah, I know.
At least I think it is. But whatever. But since I like it so much, it's probably doomed to failure.
So basically a way to get out of work?
Yeah, and since I've been wanting to play more Division 2 lately.
Oh, you could take some inspiration from this?
How about this one? Number 5, a guy published a fake obituary to sell his mom died excuse. He did this. He put his mom's obituary in the newspaper.
Aww.
And then brought the newspaper in as an excuse for missing work.
Oh, gosh. That's horrible.
Amazing.
So, yeah, he did claim to his boss that she died, and that's why they brought that in.
So, a teacher used a jury duty notice to get time off. That's not too bad.
That one's fine.
A guy trashed his own home to make it look like he was burglarized.
I guess.
This one actually...
Depending on how you're choosing to live your life at this moment, your home could look like that anyways.
I'll tell you this right now. This one is my favorite one. Now, this one was from a few years ago, but there's a lady named Ashley Barker. She was a teacher in Florida who... She emailed her, the principal was like, hey, I have kidney stones. And then she had a cyst. And then she had a brain infection.
Oh, God.
And her body was shutting down. And then her dad was dying. And in the middle of all of this, one of her coworkers spotted her at Legoland.
So she just wasn't even sick at all. I think she missed 35 days total on all the lies.
That's great. That's a lot of Division 2, Nikki.
It's so much work, though. All this stuff lying is too much work.
It really is. The thing about lying is, lying one time is not hard. Like, that's easy. I can lie to you right now. Like, I'm the best looking man in the world. Boom, I lied to you. But you know what I have to do now? Now I have to maintain that lie. That's where it gets way more difficult, because that means in casual conversation, you can't allow yourself to, slip up. And it's like, you say to everybody, yeah, I was so sick yesterday. Now you got to maintain that thing. It's not going to be easy. And it's not in the moment. That's easy. It's what comes later.
It's like, how far do you want to take this?
Yeah. Plus, there's that picture of you catching the fly ball at the game.
Yeah, they find out.
I mean, there's always like
when really,
something.
You could have just gone to work that day or take the day off.
Yeah, one or the other.
You're like, I don't have any days off. Then can you take it without pay? You're going to have to decide.
You got to do something. Yeah. It's tough, though. I hear you, for real.
So if you want to leave and just play the Division 2, you're going to just have to go and play the Division 2.
Okay.
So I don't feel like you need to go to this length.
But, Nikki, my kidneys, they hurt.
They hurt.
Did you know the Riot can help you see into the future? Every time Obadiah says he likes a show, impress all your friends by correctly predicting it will be canceled by the end of the year.
Canceled. What are you talking about? It's not funny.
Works every time. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Well, looky what we have here.
What do you got?
Perhaps you've heard of him. He is the regent of ground beef. He calls himself the Burger King.
Yes, His Highness.
Mm-hmm. And he is now, dude, they are so trolling so bad. They are now offering what some people are calling the movie pass of coffee.
So a monthly subscription program for their coffee.
Yeah, so for, is it $5 a month, you will subscribe to Burger King's coffee program. Then you use the app, and every day you can go to Burger King. They'll scan the, barcode or whatever on your app, and you get a small coffee. So it's a small coffee a day from Burger King.
One a day, though?
One a day.
One a day.
It's one a day, and it's only a small. So the thing would be is that you get your small coffee, and you can't save it up. So one day, I skipped 3 days, so nope.
Not like that.
You can get one per day. There's no penalties for getting one per day, and there's no penalties or whatever. Like, you can't save them if you skip some days.
So, I don't know, but is Burger King known for good coffee? Is it kind of like, how people like White Castle coffee? Or some even like McDonald's coffee? But
I don't know if I've ever had a cup
Burger
of coffee from Burger King. I do know this. Did you look at the picture? Like, they are so trolling Starbucks with that photo.
Well, sure.
And it is hilarious.
It's the king, and it's, like the mermaid Starbucks logo. It's got a crown and an eye patch and all that. It's the BK Cafe subscription program.
So they say, and they just come out and say it, for the price of a large cappuccino from Starbucks, you get a cup of coffee every day.
I wonder how many people sign up for it.
I don't know.
At first, it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Is this what we're starting now?
But I get it, though.
But if that's what you liked.
Okay, think about this. Let's say you do drink a small cup of coffee, which is, for me, not enough. But sometimes that's just your starter, Nikki. You swing through the drive-thru, and they've got your first cup of coffee for you. And then you go to work or wherever, and you put on a pot. You
got to realize, at some places, the free pot of coffee is something that is already set out and is free for you.
Right.
But, it depends on if you like that quality of coffee. For Burger King, they're just trying to get you there to, buy everything else for breakfast.
I was just saying, that's the thing. And I've done this, where I've been like, I'll just roll through and get a cup of coffee. And you're like, you know what? I'm getting coffee. I might as well get something too.
You just can't help but doing that.
And so that's the idea, is Burger King is like, lose money on the coffee, make money on the croissant, which you can't say no to.
Thank you, Andrew, for texting. Says BK Joe is so not really a fan. Angela says, don't try Burger King coffee. Not worth it. Trust me, I used to work there. So that's 2 no's.
Oh. Now, Angela, I have to ask, is that just a little bitterness coming out?
No,
Not
that's
in the
coffee,
but in you?
It's the bitter coffee.
You're like, man, I don't like the Starbucks, or I don't like the Burger King anymore because of what they did to me.
Well, you can ask any former Starbucks employee. I bet you they say the same thing, too.
I know a former Starbucks employee, and they think their coffee's overrated.
Okay, so they don't like it.
All right,
Everybody
okay.
don't like what you used to work at.
You're right.
So feel free to text or call 877-2-RADIO-U. But yes, the Burger King one, you use the app. That's their coffee subscription program.
Nikki, if they offered a $5 coconut water subscription program, do you think you'd be in?
Not from the King. No, I would not be. I do not want his coconut water. No.
The worst of the Riot. It's like Lucky Charms, but no marshmallows. Radio U.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but we have a standing Riot tradition. and that is seeing movies 3 to 4 months after they're relevant and then talking about them as if it's still a thing.
That's what we like to do.
That's the show. It's us. It's how we handle things.
And I don't think we're the only ones. I think that's why people appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's true.
Because they, too, did not get to go see it in the theaters.
I did finally see Creed 2 over the weekend.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Did you buy it or rent it?
I rented it, and it was, you know what? It was pretty good. It is not as good as the first one.
Oh, which you really liked.
I waited 3 years to see that one. So that worked out well. But yeah, I thought it was a great idea, and I thought it was well done, but it was not the caliber of film that Creed was.
Well, any follow-up, it's hard to do that.
It is. And so Creed 2 feels like a Rocky sequel, not meaning that it's a sequel to Rocky, but it feels like the Rocky 2 or Rocky 3 to the original Rocky. And that's kind of what Creed 2 feels like. It was shorter. It didn't pack the emotional punch that the first one did. But on the other side, I really like the characters. So the characters continue to be well written and kind of continue their story. And
so good to watch once, but that was about it.
Oh, but I watch it a couple of times. I could see myself going back to
maybe
it.
a Black Friday, Cyber Monday purchase at a cheap price. So it's on that list.
If it was the right price, I'd be picking it up for sure. It would be worth watching again. But yeah, Nikki, you got to get on board. You got to get into this boxing movie stuff with me.
I missed out. I haven't seen the first one. I haven't seen many of the Rockies.
I
haven't seen Creed.
You would love Creed.
I haven't seen the second Creed.
I mean, that might be too
overselling
much.
It just a bit.
Maybe, but I'll say this. I think you would like it.
Sure.
Because, again, it's one of those things where it is about boxing, but it's about so much more than that.
I don't mind boxing. I like movies with that stuff in it, so yeah. I guess.
So it would be worth it. Creed 2 as a follow-up, it was all right. Having watched it, I don't feel so bad that I didn't make it to the theater to see it.
If they're both free and maybe a back-to-back sort of thing.
You always got to turn it into that, don't you?
Yeah, you could get me in on if it's streaming somewhere.
Well, Creed was free on Amazon Instant Video for a long time.
Really? But yeah, when the second one comes out, then they
kill it.
They take it off of free because they want you to buy it.
Yeah, because, you got to see the first one if you're going to watch it.
They know most people would do that.
Yeah, so there you go. 3 months later, was it worth it? It was a good review or a good rent.
So you need to do some sort of music with it. That's your official movie review 3 months later. Or actually more than 3 months at this point.
Was it? When did it come out? I thought it was early December.
I felt like it was October, November, but maybe I'm wrong. Creed 2? Anybody remember when it came out?
Well, I mean, we'll Google it. Creed 2 release date. November 21st. Oh. So that was the Friday before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So... That's close to 4 months later. Woo!
You're late for even your movie review.
Even for me.
The RIOT is an award-winning morning show.
It's literally a medal for sucking. Now that is a medal for trying.
Okay.
RadioU.
Chick-fil-A. Listen, we can argue about the quality of their chicken all day. It's good. It's so good.
I was going to say, normally people don't argue about that part.
But I'll tell you this part right now. If you want to talk about what sort of a dessert option they have some of the best chocolate chip cookies in the world.
Really?
Have you ever had one?
I have not.
You've never had a Chick-fil-A?
I don't think I have.
You're missing out. That cookie is mind-blowingly
good.
Oh, my gosh. It is so good, Nikki.
I guess I'm not normally there during cookie time. Mm-hmm. I'll usually go at the end of breakfast or something.
Man, cookie time should be all the time. I don't know if you can get a chocolate chip cookie at breakfast time at Chick-fil-A, but they should work that out.
Now, we actually talked about this when they were testing it. It was back in October. The key lime pie flavored drink was being tested in Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. And this was a take on, key lime, which is a popular flavor blend. So Chick-fil-A has announced that the frosted key lime drink will be released nationwide starting today.
So what's your take on key lime in general?
That sounds good. I like key lime better than I like lemonade. And this is kind of a combination. It takes their vanilla ice cream stuff, their lemonade, and a sugar-free lime flavoring and puts it all together.
So what makes it key lime?
What do you mean?
Well,
it's
like,
a specific lime.
versus lime. Is it a specific kind of lime?
No, I don't think so. It's just I always just thought it was a Florida thing.
What is key lime? Oh, so like limes from the Florida Keys?
I don't think so. I just think it's a flavor.
A key lime is a citrus hybrid.
Like a lemon lime?
I guess. It's a higher acidity, stronger aroma, and thinner rind than a Persian lime. So the difference between a lime and a key lime seems to be the thick skin, apparently, and also the color.
I only know it from the key lime pie.
Yeah.
So now this is a drink version of that.
It's just that the actual lime flavor, I thought key lime was like a different
variation of
flavor or whatever, and it's a different variety of lime. Wow, I've really learned something today.
Worth coming in, right?
I've grown as a person.
So
glad I'm part of the show.
It starts today at Chick-fil-A, and it's a limited time drink through May 25th. That's kind of odd. I feel like it'd be a better, like the heat of the summer sort of drink, not with spring.
Oh, only all the way through May 25th.
That's when it ends, or while supplies last, they said.
That needs to be like mid-July.
Doesn't that
You're
feel
right,
better?
Nikki,
It just feels
but
more, I don't know.
Maybe they have something magical planned for the summer.
And we just don't know about it.
We don't know. I'll tell you this, man. Anytime, day or night, I'll take one of their chocolate chip cookies. And I'm not just saying that, Nikki.
What if you took the key lime ice cream stuff, put it and made a chocolate chip cookie, the Chipwich sandwich?
Real talk.
No, you're not into it?
I don't really like key lime. I mean, I'll eat it, sure.
Then you know
I'm
what?
at a place and it's all they have. But if you're telling me, would you like the key lime or the chocolate chip cookie?
Just have the cookies.
Nikki says both. I say just give me, can I have 2 cookies instead of just one?
How about this? 2 cookies, 1 to play around with. You can add the ice cream to that one.
Okay.
And then 1 just to eat on its own.
An unadulterated, pure flavor.
That feeling when you hear that every school in the state is closed, but yours? Now you know how we feel. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Yesterday, I took my car to get it washed. You know, you go in with the little thing that pushes you along and the brushes and the spinning and whatever. This one was kind of freaky. Like, I pulled in and there's basically like a garage door in front that closes, and then there was like a garage door behind me that closed. And I was like, you know what? This would be a perfect place to murder somebody. You're locked
stuck
in there. Like, you're just stuck there. You can't get that door open. There's not enough like distance between me and the door that I could build up enough momentum that I could crash my car through the door. Plus, I mean, like, the blood just goes down the drain. So
just washes away.
It's no big deal.
No one ever knows.
No one ever knows. The car goes in. Someone else drives the car out. Nobody's going to notice, like, oh, that's not the person that drove the car in.
That's spooky how that could actually work out.
I know. I sat there thinking about it, and I was just sitting there in my car just like, this is going to be where it ends for me. Right here. Nikki, you and I could make a fantastic movie about that.
I think so. And maybe you know how they're like, oh, the smell of death hits you right before it happens. And have you ever been in a car wash where it's like the rainbow soap and it's got that smell to it?
Yeah.
You just smell it in your air vents and it's like, you know, like, death's coming.
Right. Okay.
And then you're murdered.
It's perfect. So I love the idea. I feel like either that or it would be you could do a great opening, because I feel like you just see like a little red going down the drain with the water.
Ooh.
Right?
Maybe they're doing a charity car wash.
Maybe that's in the trailer.
It's a trick to get you in.
Could be, whatever. But I just feel like there's something here, you know?
What would you call it?
I don't have an answer for that yet.
Well, you don't have to have the movie written and everything finished yet.
So, but I just feel like, you know, and it could be, all right, listen, inspiration strikes when it strikes. And I know it disturbs me a little bit that my first thought in the car wash is not, look at the pretty designs, look at whatever.
I'm so glad my car is going to be clean finally.
My first thought is, you could really kill somebody in here.
No one will know.
That was the first thought I had. When the door closed down, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm trapped and they're going to kill me.
Was it that you could kill someone in there or that it would make a really good horror movie?
buy
because there's a difference.
I just felt like it would be the
One's
perfect.
more worrisome than the other.
Well, I just felt like it would be a perfect setup for a horror movie.
See, that's comforting because I feel like that just shows, he's a movie guy.
Right. Okay.
He's in the movies.
I wasn't thinking like, hey, I want to kill somebody, but I was just thinking like, man, this would be a perfect scene. And I had all these shots where you're in there and, it could be that you're just.
The sign goes on.
I feel like it's probably going to be a girl that is having a fantastic time just listening to music and like having a good time. And then we're jump cutting back to like, the murder getting ready to happen, which is terrible. Like, what am I saying? Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth? Like, what is going on?
You were thinking them?
I was thinking all about it. Like, oh yeah, it's perfect setup.
And it's not like you're there watching all the recent horror movies. You're not really into that.
No, not at all. Let's see. Ryan says the car wash murders. Tim says murder wash. I like murder wash.
That's good too.
A murder she washed. It's just something to think about.
Jason, I don't know either. Jason said, not sure what I just tuned into. Just turn on the radio and we're talking about a car wash and someone dying.
Jason, here's the thing. I got my car wash yesterday and I pulled in and the doors closed behind me and in front of me. And I was like, this is a perfect setup for a horror movie.
That's all that spurred this on. That's it.
Yeah. So, the other thing, it could be a perfect setup for a metaphor about how sometimes we just need to take a little time to clean up some things in our life. Ooh.
Even when we see a door close before us and behind us.
I love Jaden's wax finish. I like that one.
That does work too.
Carl says, why does it have to be a girl? Why can't it be a buff dude? I don't know. For some reason, I feel like it...
Hey, that's Hollywood, all right? That's a casting thing, and we don't have anything to do with that. We're just writing, and they force you.
Tim says blood wash.
Yeah, I feel like that's maybe been done.
Randall says soap, suds, and serial killers. You know what? I feel like it needs to be like almost
short
like
and sweet.
Yeah. Like the fact that we've got commas with the conjunction... It just feels like too much.
I feel like we got to go through a car wash again and just look around and see.
We're definitely going to have to hit the car wash a few times because we're going to need to do, research. Mm-hmm. So if your car needs clean, bring it by. I got to get through there a couple times. Austin says killer cleaning
with K's.
K's. I like the K's. I know it's it feels almost played out, but I feel like murder wash or wax finish, I think, is great because finish is like the end,
mm-hmm. That's
and
your end.
And wax finish. And, there's a tagline there. I'm telling you, don't choose the executive wash or something like that.
Yes. Okay, so how you get how premium, there's 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. You're not supposed to order the 1. And when you order that one, that's when you're killed.
That's the one that they get you on.
That's like a secret one.
Yeah. Well, you sign up for the premium one, and the guy's only out there. Going on? He's angry about the culture wars and the money distribution in America, so he only kills the people that can afford the high-end wash. Oh, my gosh. It's a movie for the people.
Okay, now we're 5 minutes into this, and I feel like we've given this way too much time.
Remember, if you can just make it through the rest of the riot, then you can probably make it through the rest of the week. And through the next several months. And then it'll practically be Christmas. The Riot on RadioU.
I feel like one of the worst days to have your birthday is on Christmas. It's the worst, right? Because you got to share your birthday with Jesus, for crying out loud. You're so screwed.
The birthday, which I know a few people who've had, their birthdays on Christmas, but they celebrate it usually the day before. But even that, it's Christmas Eve.
Nobody cares. It's bad, but nobody cares about your birthday. Like your mom does, but even your mom has to discipline herself. She's out there. Everybody's like, remember the true meaning of Christmas. And she's like, remember the true meaning of Jason's birthday.
Don't forget him.
That we love Jason, and we're so glad that he came into the world.
It must be hard because even when you were in school, you were always out for your birthday. And, if you want to invite friends over, everybody's always doing family stuff.
It's Christmas. And I'll just have to say, as a kid, basically there was 2 times a year that I could get something. Your birthday and Christmas. So if you wanted something that was like a higher ticket item or whatever, as a kid, you have 2 opportunities and only 2 opportunities. Birthday and Christmas. And you're telling me they just got lumped in together?
One day.
And I'll tell you something else. I don't care what you say. You're not getting, you're getting ripped off on presents. Okay, you're going to. You will.
Some people then choose to celebrate a half birthday instead. So that's when you have to do something.
Okay, so then tell me this. Do you think it's worse, as bad as it is to have to share a birthday with Jesus, which I think feels like it could be among the worst, right? But what if you had 5 brothers and sisters? What if you were part of a group of sextuplets?
Oh, and you
had to share your birthday with 5 other people
but not
that
on
are
Christmas?
the same age, but it's not Christmas. Would you rather have your birthday on Christmas or have sextuplets and you have to share your birthday with 5 other people?
Well, it's not just that you're sharing your birthday, but to have that many brothers and sisters, it's probably easier on the parents just to have it on one day, isn't it?
Well, sure.
Compared to have parties for 6 of them throughout the entire year. But yeah, you'd probably get annoyed, but you'd be annoyed anyways.
What, just because there are all
Brothers
these other
and sisters,
kids around?
Yeah, you're sure.
But Nikki, you have all these friends to hang out with.
It's a lot of
the
kids.
Same age. It's
That's
so
a
cool.
lot of kids.
You're
That's
all going through everything at the same time.
I'm sure you guys get along fine.
Yeah, kids are always. I see them and they're just sharing and loving.
Like a total of 6 is a lot.
It is a lot. There was a woman that gave. This is just my weird world. She gave birth to sextuplets over the weekend. 6 babies between 4:50 a.m. and 4:59 a.m.
Oh, was she the one who had him in 9 minutes?
6 babies in 9 minutes.
I saw that was trending.
Yes.
How's that possible?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this. My first thought was, how bad does it suck to have to share your birthday
with all of them?
With 5 other people?
Between this and the killer car wash that we were talking about a few minutes ago, when you're left alone to just think with your thoughts for a few minutes about things that are going on, they're usually negative.
Are they?
Yeah.
What's negative about that? That's just
I might
honest...
die in the car wash.
Okay,
and then the other one is...
Which seems legitimate.
Not like, oh, hey, how amazing. I have all these amazing brothers and sisters, but I got to share my birthday with them.
Nikki, let me ask you a question. If you and your brother suddenly had to share a birthday, how giving and freeing would you... how great would you feel about it?
You would
hate it. Because you and Nick have neighboring birthdays and you hate it.
So I don't hate it. That was 1 year where Nick said something wrong.
Nikki.
Well, but I wouldn't hate it. Are you just talking about lunch? Because we have a staff lunch?
Nikki.
Oh, gosh.
So now all of a sudden.
No, you're making a thing.
You have to share where you pick the birthday dinner, and you have to share what kind of cake you get, and you have to share what kind of decorations you want.
That's only when you were younger and your parents had something for you.
Well, that's when birthdays meant the most anyway.
Yes. Yeah. So, it would have been more upsetting when we were younger. Absolutely.
I'm just telling you right now, the worst. The worst. That's the worst. Or is it Christmas? I can't decide.
You can't decide which is the worst.
You can let me know.
The worst would be if you had a total of 6, if you had 6 brothers and sisters and you were all born on Christmas. That's the worst. You wouldn't get a Christmas present at all.
Ever.
Your parents were like, no.
Wait, you know what your present is? Your brothers and sisters. Look at you. You guys are each other's present. It's wonderful.
That's totally, or you'd each have to pick one brother or sister and get them one gift.
Santa already came. Woo!
The Riot.
They hate me. They hate you. They hate us.
Why else would they make us listen to the worst of the Riot? RadioU.
Nikki is really looking forward to offering some commentary on owning a Call of Duty eSports franchise.
My dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would love to have one of those.
So
That's a thing?
Starting next year, you're going to have Call of Duty and Overwatch city-based leagues they're going to start up for professional gaming. So it will be the Anaheim Accelerators.
Good one. That's all you could come up with.
I don't know, the Portland Poners. Whatever.
Actually,
right?
that one does work.
It works, and it'll probably be a thing. So the Call of Duty League was announced. Man, was it announced just this February? But here's the part that has gotten people to raise their eyebrows a bit, is that it looks like, okay, to open a franchise, you have to pay a franchise fee. And it's that way whether it's a McDonald's or a whatever, right?
You're buying the name and the ability to use the name, and you're running it. But then they're supposed to provide you stuff.
So how much do you think the Call of Duty Overwatch franchise? Yeah. So you're basically buying a team.
So you're buying a team of would that be professional gamers then, or just gamers?
Well, it would be professional gamers.
And so people could join your team from that city, and then you would go and do tournaments?
Well, would they be from that city? I mean, it's not like everybody that plays for the Patriots is, from New England.
Well, they would move to the city where it's at.
Probably.
Okay, so then you would have that. Would they pay fees themselves?
Oh, no. I mean, they're going to get paid.
They get paid, okay.
Yeah, because basically think of it like an NFL owner, but you're owning an eSports Call of Duty team.
I'm going to say what came to my mind right away is going to be too low.
You're right. What do you think?
What do I think?
I want to know what that number is first.
$5,000. That's what came to my mind, like right away.
Right away.
Like,
that was the
it's
first.
a lot of money, but then in franchise world, it's probably not. But to me, like, that's way more than I would want to spend. Is it higher than that?
I love you going, sure, it's a lot of money. In the business world, I don't feel like $5,000 is a lot of money.
No, not for, but that's what I feel like came to me first.
Okay, all right. Now, recognizing that you're shooting low.
Am I?
Let's say you are, okay, and you even knew that. You said it.
You did,
okay.
50,000.
Okay, do you think? Like, I want you to tell me what you think is like a really high number.
50,000.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's $25 million.
Excuse me, what? No, it's not. You lied in my face. You're a liar. You're just a terrible, mean.
You're a big, fat liar. Juicy liar.
Stop it.
I
don't even want to hear any more about it because that's ridiculous.
$25 million.
It is not.
Yeah, it is.
It is not. I reject it. I just crossed my hands in an X in case you're like, what is she doing?
No.
No, I don't even believe that.
Yeah, no, that's it.
That's a nasty online rumor. Nasty.
So I guess what you're saying is you're not interested in participating in the professional.
Who's putting money towards that?
I don't know.
And so what? You could play in the tournament?
Well, that's what I would like to know. Of course, tournaments have sponsors. That's typically where prize money comes from. But how long would it take to make your $25 million back? I mean, okay, and maybe this is a thing. So
maybe there's way more money in that than we know.
I mean, do you wear I'm the Chicago Shooters?
Good one.
Do you wear?
I don't feel like that one you could actually do.
No, against any.
No, not anymore.
Oh gosh, not with what goes on in Chicago.
No,
that's not going to work, is it?
He was wrong.
That's not going to work.
We get why he was trying to say it.
eSports, Call of Duty.
Yep.
Okay, all right. The Chicago shenanigans.
Oh, that's okay.
Perfect. I'm wearing my shenanigans shirt.
No, that sounds like a soccer club.
You're pretty judgmental for someone that doesn't want to spend $25 million on it. If it's my team, I'll name it what I want.
I find that to be
the RadioU Wranglers.
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want.
The RadioU Ruffians.
I don't understand the world of $25 million for that. I feel like you're putting it in the toilet and you're flushing it down.
Well, I want to see.
And you're shoving it down because it's got to all fit down.
Look at those water effects. It looks real, don't it?
And then I see a flood, and then you're like, why did I spend $25 million?
I want to know, like, real talk. I want to know what kind of money you can make back on that. Like, how does it work? Because I feel like you'd never make $25 million back.
I can't.
But they must have a business model where they do.
I feel like $25 million is like a pro team for...
They are a pro team.
Sports, not eSports.
Nope, Nikki, that's your bias. That's your bias.
I'm going to bias away.
And I'm going to buy us out of this deal.
Because I need someone to take I'm not investing in that.
You're listening to The Riot. Voted #1 morning show. Among toddlers aged 2 to 5. Among people with hearing problems. Among dogs who bark at loud noises. Among relatives of Obadiah. Among people who lie in surveys. The Riot, RadioU.
Man, Goodreads has been a gold mine for me today. Gold mine.
If you were with us earlier, he realized it's this old site we used to go to and we would update when you were reading a book. And your Kindle still uses it.
My Kindle still uses it.
Because Goodreads is owned by Amazon, but it has been many years since we've done anything on it.
I just found a message that I got on Goodreads 6 years ago from an author whose book I critiqued. What?
So then they contacted you about your critique of their book?
They did.
Was it in an abrasive way? Or
No. I had just said that I thought the book was a good book, but it was too long in the middle.
Yeah.
And that it would have been better at 400 pages instead of 600 pages. And he said, hey there, I'm sorry you weren't fully satisfied with the book, but I wanted to thank you for sticking with it and reading all the way to the end.
Nice. Nothing shouts, by the way, just as we all are like doing our own thing. Nothing shouts an independent person than when you
reach out
on someone who reviews something. Like if you're a restaurant owner or an independent band or an independent author, it's not really something you're supposed to do, but when you do it, it kind of shows.
The other beautiful thing that's popped up in my Goodreads is, I have like 10 friends on there, and I can see books that you guys are reading.
Yeah.
Or books that you want to read. And Nikki, how about the description for this one? After being railroaded by the city council, Abby needs a man's name on her bakery's deed. And, wait.
Keep going.
And a man she can control. Not the stoic lumberman Zacharias, who always seems to exude silent confidence. She can't even control her pulse when he's around.
Oh, jeez. Okay, maybe don't keep reading.
But as trust grows between them, she finds she wants more than his rescue.
Is someone reading that currently?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. I'm looking at this book. It's called More Than Words Can Say, Patchwork Family, number 2.
Oh, it's a series?
Yes. That's not a description of the book. That's the number of the book. And right now, it's got a 5-star rating.
How many people are reviewing it? And do you want to hear from that author?
Let's see.
I don't really need to know. Never mind.
Well, it looks like I can't tell, but there are a lot of people that want to. And who's this person? Am I the only one that thinks that Zacharias looks like Chris Pine? Ooh, Nikki, do you want me to send this over to you?
I like Chris Pine.
Do you think that maybe, do you want more than his rescue? Do you want his heart? But do you want to be able to control him so you can have your bakery?
I want to keep my bakery. This all sounds stupid. This sounds terrible. Stop reading these things. Close out of it. Close out of it.
What are you talking about?
You're going to jump down that hole, and I don't want to hear any more book reviews.
Worst of the riot, not enough? Not enough. Check the blog and all things Riot at riot.radiou.com.
This might be my favorite thing I've seen today. I actually have 2 weird things in Russia. Okay, the first one is a guy is afraid of this moose that has come out of the forest and is up near his car or something like that.
It was causing problems at an apartment complex, and the moose was there agitating everybody, and they were trying to get rid of him. They were trying to get him to leave.
So he threw a cat at it.
His cat.
He threw his cat.
People were trying to throw snow and other stuff at it, and it wouldn't leave. And so people in Russia are mad as this is taking off virally, and they're upset at him for throwing his own cat at the moose.
The picture of the cat flying through the air is so
It's something, isn't it? It is something. It's like, yep, he did that.
You're just like, man, you think your Monday's bad? You should see what they did to this cat. This cat is just like, ah! It sucks to be that cat. In fairness, though, it worked. When he threw the cat, the moose
Finally,
was
the moose went away.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm out of here. So I guess the moral of this story is throw your cat?
No, I don't think we want to risk that. Again, people are very mad at him for choosing to do that.
Okay. Now, the other weirdo thing that happened in Russia was that apparently, and I don't understand why this is just becoming a thing, but back in December, there was a huge meteor that exploded over Russia. It didn't hit, which if it had, it would be a meteorite. Mm-hmm. But this meteor exploded over Russia, and they say that the explosion was so powerful that it was about 10 times stronger than the bomb that exploded, the atomic bomb in Hiroshima.
So what happened? They said that was, no one told people about it?
Yeah, just It happens about 15 miles above the Earth's surface in the atmosphere. Just
okay. That doesn't get as much news, though, as the man who threw his cat at the moose. I mean, that obviously.
Yeah, I know. It's weird
That'll
to me
just
that
go.
Like, this news story, they're only talking about this happened 3 months ago. They're only just now talking about it. And that just goes to show you the way we work as a society. Something that could have wiped out all life on Earth, barely noticed. Guy throws a cat at a moose.
Woo!
Stop everything.
That's more important.
Stop everything. We do not throw cats at mooses.
Well, the other one is, potentially scary, and it didn't happen, so you don't want to know about it.
A moose once bit my sister.
Really?
No.
I know.
Not really.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
The medical term for getting your stomach pumped is gastric lavage.